SEC on ESPN. A terrific scene at the Big House. Now we're in Death Valley for a college football Saturday here in Baton Rouge at Tiger Stadium. Picture perfect Saturday afternoon. And one more opportunity for Jayden Daniels to take the field here at Death Valley on Senior Day, leading the nation in every conceivable statistical category for a quarterback. So one more chance to make his case for the Heisman Trophy. And if we do a little digging, there is some evidence that Jayden Daniels might be the favorite. Total offense per game, the past 10 Heisman winners, names like Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, Johnny Manziel, RG3. Jayden Daniels has outgained all of them. And if you think losing 3 games should be disqualifying for winning the Heisman, think again. In the last 20 seasons, 3 times, 3 losses, still has produced a Heisman Trophy winner, including this man next to me. How coincidental I'm here with Robert Griffin III. Bob Wischusen and Chris Budden will join us in just a moment. All right, we're making the case for Jayden Daniels. You think he's got a strong one?
Oh, I think he does. He's the most electrifying, the most dynamic, and the biggest cheat code in all of college football. He's the only player with 3,500 yards passing and 1,000 yards rushing. And let me tell you, people, not only is he playing for the Heisman Trophy today, all he has to really do is win the game. He told me earlier this week he has his mind on trying to break Joe Burrow's touchdown record in a single game at 9. And if he does that, we might give him the trophy today.
Well, there's a lot of NFL scouting heads up in the press box talking to some that are here to see Jayden Daniels and the rest of the potential NFL talent on the field here at Death Valley. They cannot believe this is the same quarterback that began his career at Arizona State. Chris Budden, it has been an amazing transformation for Jayden Daniels here in Baton Rouge.
What a journey it's been. 3 seasons at Arizona State. That final year there, probably his worst in football. 10 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. Also an emotional season. He lost his grandmother and his grandfather to COVID, particularly close with his grandfather. And then Brian Kelly gives him a call after the season, says, come to Baton Rouge, a place that has sent a lot of guys to the NFL. He does, but the success was a slow build, and here he is in his final season and his name up in Heisman contention. And he goes back to a quote that's on his lock phone: those who leave everything in God's hands will eventually see God's hands in everything. It's a reminder, you can't rush the process. Year 5, it's all come together.
Well, the process has been nothing but a success here in Death Valley for Jayden Daniels. And interesting, talking last year to Brian Kelly, about midway through the season, Jayden Daniels either had no interceptions or 1. And I remember saying to him, that's amazing. Like, he's so efficient with the football. And Brian Kelly at the time said, yeah, not necessarily a good thing. And of course, I'm thinking, not a good thing that he hasn't thrown interceptions? He said, no, he's not putting the ball in harm's way and taking necessary chances. This year, he has only 4 interceptions against 36 touchdowns. So what an amazing season he's had.
Amazing season, and I'm sure Brian Kelly is very happy about that ratio.
And he'll get the football to begin. A little muff on the kickoff as A&M won the toss and deferred. So now Jayden Daniels takes the field, this last Heisman resume building opportunity.
And let me tell you, people, he's got game-breaking speed like he showed against Florida. He had the ball placement to put the ball where his receivers absolutely needed to be. The pocket presence to work right to left on the radio dial and get it to his 3rd and 4th reads in his progression. This young man is a true triple threat. Running, throwing, and he'll beat you with his mind.
And he'll throw on 1st down. And he's going to take a shot downfield into double coverage, hoping for Brian Thomas Jr. But that was broken up. Tyreek Chappelle and Jacoby Matthews sandwiching the big play wide receiver.
And you're going to see Jacoby Matthews. They're trying to get that 2-for-1 there with the safety in the corner. Jayden just missed that one just slightly. Put that one 5 yards further up the field, and Brian Thomas might still be running towards the end zone.
Mason Taylor across the 20-yard line, picks up about 6, makes it 3rd down and 4.
It's a 3rd down and manageable, and you look at your screen, we got these streaks that are going on right now. A&M, they haven't allowed a touchdown in the last 25 drives. 25! Well, LSU comes in with the #1 offense in the country, and they've scored a touchdown on their last 13, so something's got to give today, Bob.
LSU number 2 in America on third down. A&M's defense number 7 in America. Stop it. Teams on third down. And it looks like they've got Mason Taylor stopped here. Bryce Anderson with a terrific tackle to make it 4th down and 1. And here comes the punt group for LSU. They took a shot on first down. And then after back-to-back Taylor completions, it's a 3 and out.
And that's all about Bryce Anderson there, number 1, playing that nickel position. Whenever you have these guys catch the ball in open space, you got to cut them down immediately. He did a nice job there of not allowing Mason Taylor to get any yak after that catch. Certainly not the start that LSU wanted. Of course, that streak of 13 straight touchdown drives comes to an end.
Jay Bramblett. Ananias Smith lets it take a sideways hop. Out of bounds with a flag down. Couple of flags thrown. Inside the Texas A&M 35-yard line. It went out at about the 33. 40-yard punt. We'll check the marker. Matt Leffler is our head referee today.
Kick catch interference on the kicking team, number 15. 15-yard penalty, first down.
So not allowing Ananias Smith an opportunity to catch the football costs LSU 15 yards.
Yeah, it looked like Ananias Smith there trying to go up and make the catch. Sage Ryan honestly just got caught in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Texas A&M. Now they're going to start Jalen Henderson for the 3rd time today, but that's because Connor Wigman, back at the end of September against Auburn, suffered a season-ending foot injury. Max Johnson with ribs. He got hurt against Ole Miss, did the best he possibly could to try and work through that injury this week and have a chance to play against his old team. Of course, Max Johnson is an LSU transfer, but just not well enough to take the field. So Jalen Henderson, his 3rd start of the season, and they always want to get the ball to Ananias Smith in space in as many creative ways as possible, as Omar Spates was waiting for Ananias Smith on the edge. Great field position for Texas A&M as they begin their first possession in plus territory.
Yeah, and when you're a guy like Jalen Henderson, who hasn't really played a lot of football in 3 years, having that great field position and getting the ball to a guy like Ananias Smith, who is a precise route runner, but also great after the catch.
Anderson on a keeper. Harold Perkins Jr. was waiting for him. Savion Jones there as well, a gain of a couple. So it will be 3rd down and 5 as Jalen Henderson again has started the last couple of games for Texas A&M. Accounted for 4 touchdowns in their win over Mississippi State 2 weeks ago. The Fresno State transfer here at Death Valley facing an early 3rd down.
So right here on 3rd down, they're going to try to get this football right here into the slot.
He's out of the pocket with room to run. Looking for the line to gain and gets tripped up by Harold Perkins. Short. After a gain of only 3, it'll be 4th and 2 for Texas A&M, but at the 40-yard line of LSU, they may go for it.
Yeah, and you're going to see Jalen Henderson feels a little bit of pressure, but really just trying to get out of the pocket and feel a part of the game. Gets cut down right there by Harold Perkins Jr., the best player on LSU's defense. Way to go sideline to sideline, get to that ankle and prevent him from getting that first down.
And it looks like we've got an injured LSU player on the sideline. So injury timeout. Harold Perkins is down. We'll step aside. Harold Perkins injured on that last play has already come out, RG3, of the injury tent.
Yeah, you're going to see when he's running down Jalen Henderson here, when he goes for that foot, he lands like right on top of it. And I tell you what, guys, I played a little DB back in high school. When you land on somebody like that, it can knock the wind out of you. So it seems like that might have been the case in that situation.
So he is not on the field for 4th down and 2 as A&M goes for it. Dropping the football, the tight end, Max Wright. Should have been an easy 4th down pickup. The early chance taken by the interim head coach Elijah Robinson, and Max Wright couldn't hold on.
Well, Bob, Max Wright used to play defensive end, and I think he thought he was back on the defensive side of the ball here. You got to catch it the first time. Certainly don't want to drop it, but that is a huge, huge drop early in the game, and you see Jalen Henderson right here Young guy coming in, hasn't played in 3 years. Only in his 3rd start here at Texas A&M, he needed his guy to make that play for him.
And now you give arguably the best quarterback in college football the ball near midfield, and Jaden Daniels on a keeper. Takes a hard hit and goes down after a gain of 7. Close to midfield, Damani Richardson brought him down. McKinley Jackson finished him off.
Yeah, he does a nice job reading Fadil Diggs, and then in the open field, I'm actually pretty shocked. Damani Richardson got him down. Normally the first guy does not tackle Jaden Daniels. He's that elusive in the open field. So this A&M defense is showing him early that they're different.
Blitz off the edge, and it works to perfection. Bryce Anderson knifed in and brought down Josh Williams for no gain. Sets up 3rd down and 3.
And you talk about Bryce Anderson. He's coming in from one side, and on the other side, you had Walter Nolan, number 0. So you're cutting out the running back's legs and also have your big defensive tackle hitting them up top. That's what they're going to want to try to smother out this running game and make LSU one-dimensional and have to throw it every down.
Jaden Daniels probably fine with that.
Yeah, probably.
3rd down and 3. Only a 3-man rush. Making a move and stepping out of bounds backwards was Brian Thomas Jr. I'm not sure he picked up the 1st down right at the line to gain, and that might be a generous spot.
Yeah, you're going to see Brian Thomas. He makes his catch and then makes Buddy miss, but jumps backwards and steps out of bounds. I think that's actually a really generous spot.
So they gave him the benefit of the doubt. Now forward progress may have been stopped at the 50-yard line had he been hit, but it looked like he went backwards on his own. And when you do that, if you step out of bounds, they probably should have marked the ball at the 49-yard line. Instead, LSU gets the benefit of the doubt, and the long throw from Daniels to Malik Neighbors. Stays on his feet. Tough to bring down. Malik Neighbors fights his way to the A&M 32-yard line to pick up 18.
I'm screaming up here to LSU, run this play as fast as you can so they don't review that last one. But Jaden Daniels, this is just him connecting with the best wide receiver in all of college football. And Malik Neighbors, stiff arm, get off me, little boy, you're too small.
Daniels hands to Josh Williams. And the former walk-on dives ahead for about 3 inside the 30-yard line. Torian York made the stop. The true freshman Mike linebacker for Texas A&M. I remember talking to DJ Durkin, the defensive coordinator, about Torian York, and he said back in camp, guys, we're all looking at each other saying, we can't possibly start a freshman at Mike linebacker, can we? And after watching him play, they were like, we're going to start a freshman at Mike linebacker because he's that good. Daniels, pocket collapsing, avoids the set, tucks it under. The C's part. He's to the 15-yard line. Out of bounds inside the 10. 1st and goal, LSU.
Oh, man, this is what makes Jaden Daniels so special. Watch him. He's going to go through his progression. 1 not there, 2 not there. Okay, you got a little pressure. Now it's time to push the gas, and this man goes 0 to 60 like a GTR skyline, people. That's the one thing that you just cannot coach. When the play is not there, Jaden Daniels has the ability to make his coaches right, and that's hidden yardage, and he does it better than anybody in the country.
Logan Diggs breaks a tackle, gets all the way down to about the 1-yard line. Bryce Anderson saved a touchdown.
And here's the thing about Jaden Daniels. He's so unselfish. He could have easily tried to pull that and scored a touchdown to probably get some more Heisman stats, but he's not afraid to hand this ball off to his running back and let him do the work.
He may have to do the work on 3rd down. Torian York, Edger, and Cooper, who's also a Bednarik semifinalist, combine on the stop of Diggs. Now it is 3rd down and goal just outside the 1.
Now, one route that Jaden Daniels has thrown extremely well this year is that box fade. That doesn't look like they're going to give him the opportunity to do that here with the stack alignment at the top of your screen. But watch that fade.
They motion Brian Thomas. And instead, on the dive up the middle, Logan Diggs is in for an LSU touchdown.
We talked about it, Bob. Not afraid to hand the football off, because at the end of the day, the most important thing today and every day when you play college football is winning the football game. Jayden Daniels not going to be selfish in this one. He just wants to do whatever he has to do to allow the LSU Tigers to walk out of here with a win. And right there, he makes the perfect read, allowing Logan Diggs to get downhill and not allowing the previous 2 plays where he didn't get in to impact his decision-making and try to take it on his own.
7th rushing touchdown of the season for Logan Diggs, who was out last week. But he makes his return today, finds the end zone, caps a 9-play touchdown drive. And boy, does it loom large as well. The drop on 4th down by the tight end Max Wright that gives LSU the short field. Things don't seem to go well for teams that give Jayden Daniels a short field.
I don't think things go well for teams that give Jayden Daniels a long field either. So right here, Logan Diggs digs out the touchdown, and LSU's on top in Death Valley.
There are so many wonderful, unique traditions in college sports, and to be a part of all of them is great. But senior day hits a little different when you see these guys run out of the tunnel for the last time in front of the home crowd, their families waiting for them on the field. Of course, Jayden Daniels got an immense roar here from the crowd at Tiger Stadium. You could barely hear the announcement when he came out on the field. Running under it, Reuben Owens. Good return out across the 25, gets to the edge, stiff arm out of bounds at about the 33-yard line. Well, comparing Jayden Daniels to Joe Burrow, we weren't sure if you ever wanted to compare someone to Joe Burrow in terms of statistically putting up those types of numbers, but that's a pretty favorable comparison.
Yeah, and what we saw from Joe Burrow in 2019, many thought would never be replicated. And the fact that Jayden Daniels has actually been able to exceed that in total yards and in touchdowns responsible for, I mean, that last number was probably the most important when you look at the QBR. Jayden Daniels is not just out here running around like a chicken with his head cut off. This guy is playing the position at an extremely high level and putting all those NFL draft scouts in a bind, not knowing where to place him. But he is certainly a first-round quarterback in my book.
Jalen Henderson, backwards pass is handled. Up the sideline goes Le'Veon Moss, and he picks up about 3. Down to Chris.
Bob, and the talk about the Heisman is everywhere down here. When he ran out for senior day, you heard the crowd chanting Heisman. Back inside the locker room in the facility, there's players and staff wearing Jayden for Heisman t-shirts. I asked him this week, who's he leaned on to talk with all this? And he's like, I haven't really heard much about the Heisman. To which I laughed and said, well, you probably won't want to listen to our broadcast considering Robert's up there.
The Heisman may come up today as Texas A&M will be about 3 yards short of a first down. Greg Penn brings down Ernest Crownover.
Well, you talk about the Heisman, and the #1 thing Texas A&M doesn't want to do is allow Jayden Daniels and LSU to win the Heisman on them. So when you look at this from their offensive perspective, they have to continue to try to get the running game going. But here, once again on 3rd down, Jalen Henderson maybe uses his legs.
Instead, Le'Veon Moss blasts up the middle for a first down as LSU continues to struggle to get stops on 3rd down. Coming into today, 113th in FBS at stopping opponents on 3rd down.
And you know what's so shocking about that run on 3rd down, Bob, is the fact that the middle of this LSU defense has actually been a strength over the past few games. Jordan Jefferson and Mason Smith have really been locking it down, and A&M even told us we're going to try to run to the perimeter, but they ran that one right down the pipe.
Anderson off play action. Tries to drop one in on the sideline to Aniyah Smith, but airmails him out of bounds. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
And right there you had Andre Sam, number 14, playing the safety spot on the back end. And who was that underneath? Oh, it was Harold Perkins Jr. This guy is really good at everything, whether it's rushing the passer, coverage, running sideline to sideline. That's why he was a preseason All-American coming into the year. And they got to find ways to get him more involved in the pass rush so he can do what he does best and attack the quarterback.
Underneath route. Spinning for a first down is Aniyah Smith. He's got 14.
And right here, they're just going to put the defense in the bind, making actually Harold Perkins decide if he wants to play the run or play the pass. And with Ainias Smith running that nice little flat route, it's always a good thing to get a player of Ainias Smith's caliber, who is a great run after the catch guy, the ball in space. Right there, no one was guarding it.
The only 2,000-yard receiver in SEC history to also have 250 or more yards as a punt returner, as a kick returner. Ainias Smith, all different ways he can hurt you, as Henderson tries to hurt LSU with his legs here, and he picks up 5. Harold Perkins there to bump him out. Ainias Smith, he is literally that Swiss Army knife weapon for Texas A&M.
Oh, yeah, you talked about it. Look at the receiving yards, the rushing yards, punt returns, kick returns. He can literally do it all. And here's the crazy thing, people. He still has another year left of eligibility if he wants to come back. I don't know if his 401k is going to kick in anytime soon, but that'll be his 6th or 7th year in college football. What is going on?
Bouncing off tacklers and not finding any room, Amari Daniels. Down to Chris.
Smith was asked about whether or not he's going to use that last year, go to the NFL this past week in the media, and he said, listen, I'm going to be where my feet are. I haven't thought about it. I haven't thought about whether or not I'm going to play in the bowl game. I just want to focus on now. He had that opportunity last year. A lot of guys saying you should go. He was recovering from an injury, so that's why I decided to come back. But at the moment, it's about right now.
Down and 4. You have to think that's where Jalen Henderson will go. Instead, it's Jake Johnson, the tight end, to the 30-yard line. Very close to the line to gain. Omar Spates knocked him out of bounds, and it will be 4th down. He's probably about a half-yard short.
Yeah, you're going to see Jake Johnson just coming on that flat route. I don't know if he got that first down, but he was dang near close to it. But what I do love about what Jalen Henderson is doing is he's just operating the offense. When the plays aren't there, he's using his legs. When it is there, he's getting it out of his hands. And that's really all they need him to do to try to keep this LSU offense off the field. Play after play after play. Let's see what they do handing the ball off to the running backs here.
For the second time here in the first quarter, they go for it on 4th down. That extra push might have been just enough for Moss. And it is a fresh set of downs for Texas A&M. They needed about a foot, and they got about a foot plus 6 inches.
My Lord.
Omar Spates and Andre Sam tried to drive Moss back.
Yeah, you're going to see just put the fullback in front of him, allow him to try to run that guy over, and then the big uglies up front pushed him just a little bit past the line. But I'm not going to lie to y'all, man. I'm watching this man, number 90, Jacoby and Guillory. They have him listed at 6'2", 320. I don't know what he ate for Thanksgiving, y'all, but he ain't 320. That man is about 360 pounds.
Play action, 10th play of the drive. Henderson slides and takes a hit. Whit Weeks came over and brought him down as he gave himself up at the 27-yard line, a gain of 3.
You know, Whit Weeks has a great story. He's been really versatile for this LSU defense all year. But again, Jalen Henderson using his legs. This LSU defense has struggled. I don't think that's a secret to anyone all year, but they've really struggled against mobile quarterbacks. And that's something that Jalen Henderson brings to the table for this offense that maybe Connor Wigman and Max Johnson did not.
Quarterback draw. Going nowhere. Henderson brought down behind the line as Braden Swinson came through and made first contact for LSU. A loss of 5. That'll make it 3rd down and 12.
Well, you know how you stop the quarterback draw? You get penetration into the backfield. Then right there, Braden Swinson ran through his guy to get to the other guy. Now, you know, it's kind of like the equivalent of a pancake for an offensive lineman. When you just run the guy that's trying to block you into the quarterback. Nice play right there by 1-3.
Henderson over the middle in the soft spot right at the first down line to gain is Ainias Smith. And that's good enough for a first down. Picked up 13.
Talked about how Ainias Smith is a precise route runner. Watch him and Jalen Henderson on the same page. Before he even gets to that spot, Henderson is already unleashing the football because of that anticipation that he's playing with. Ainias Smith allows you as a quarterback to know where he's going to be, when he's going to be there. And Henderson was Johnny on the spot.
Henderson. The fake fooled no one. And he is buried for a loss 5, at least 6 back close to the 25-yard line. Ovi Agufo was there.
Ovi Agufo just let Jalen Henderson know you ain't at Fresno State no more, buddy. When you get out here in the SEC and you run those quarterback reads, you cannot stop your feet. Unless you're Reggie Bush or somebody, and Jalen Henderson, last time I checked, doesn't have that type of explosiveness in his legs.
14th play of the drive, but it's 2nd and long. Henderson out of the pocket. And that got back 4 yards to the 20-yard line as Anaya Smith makes another catch. So now it'll be 3rd down and 11 right on the edge of the red zone. And it looks like that will take us to the end of the first quarter. So it'll be 3rd down and long for Texas A&M to begin quarter number 2. As LSU has the 7-0 lead. An impressive drive. 14 plays so far on this drive for Texas A&M. Can they keep it alive to start the second quarter? We'll find out in a moment.
Coach, an important 3rd down. What do you need out of this drive?
Yeah, we got to make sure we protect the football. No sacks, no interceptions. Like, we got to finish with a kick, whether it's a touchdown and a PAT or a field goal. We just got to finish.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Elijah Robinson has certainly been willing to take some chances so far. They've already gone for it twice on 4th down. Got a 4th down conversion to keep this drive alive. And now 3rd and 11 to start the second quarter. There's the check down underneath. Room to run. Inside the 5-yard line, down to the 4 goes David Bailey. David Bailey Jr. finds daylight. It'll be 1st and goal.
And it's just a simple check down. It's a burst route by the back. Jalen Henderson does a nice job of working through his reads. He sees all of the coverage licked, and he dumps it down to his back for a 1st down. Nice job there by Jalen Henderson. The simple play sometimes is the best play, Bob.
And David Bailey Jr. stays in the game. Takes the handoff. Cut down inside the 2. Andre Sam made the stop. 2nd down and goal.
Well, if you want to prevent LSU from winning the Heisman today, this is certainly the way to do it. Eat the clock, keep them on the sideline, and now here in a goal-to-goal situation, punch it in for 7 when they've been sitting on the sideline for what feels like an eternity.
Moss walks into the end zone for an A&M touchdown. Le'Veon Moss untouched. 17 plays, 9 minutes and 9 seconds on that drive for Texas A&M.
Nice job there by the offensive line, making sure that they get all of those and seal off the defense here on the edge. And watch how much easier that makes it for Le'Veon Moss when he takes his carry. The defense is sealed. He could take a stroll in a park to get into the end zone right there. They said they wanted to run the perimeter, and it just so happened that the perimeter was wide open there on the goal line.
Play touchdown drive to tie it at 7 as Le'Veon Moss has his 5th on the ground this season.
Is brought to you by Burger King and Old Dominion Freight Line, helping the world keep promises.
Thanksgiving for these 2 football teams getting set for this matinee with Elijah Robinson's team. Texas A&M going on their longest drive in 9 years. A 17-play touchdown march. And the most on a scoring drive since 2009 to deadlock this matchup with LSU at 7. And speaking of Elijah Robinson, I remember him as a player at his alma mater at Penn State. He was an assistant coach there, then went on to be an assistant at Temple and Baylor as well before moving to Texas A&M as the defensive line coach and then working his way up the chain to earn the additional titles of co-defensive coordinator. and assistant head coach, interim head coach after Jimbo Fisher was let go on November 12th. Back to the offense, LSU. And getting stuffed up the middle is Noah Cain. I remember meeting with Elijah Robinson as a player at Penn State in production meetings. He walked into the room as a player. He said, oh, this guy. And Chris Budd, you know the same, right? This guy, he really looks the part. You knew where he'd probably eventually end up.
But that wasn't the plan. That's the crazy part. He had to retire from playing after an injury, and he was all set to take a marketing job. And Joe Paterno called him up. He said, no, you're not. Nope, you're going to come here and be a grad assistant, and that's how it all started.
Coaches know coaches. And if you met Elijah Robinson when he was a player, I mean, he's where he belongs, and that is influencing the lives of young men.
Yeah, and he talked about how he stands on the shoulders of so many guys that have helped prop him up. Even Matt Rule, I got a chance to meet Elijah Robinson at Baylor when he was there for a season. And his whole focus with this A&M team has been to get these guys to play passionate football and enjoy the game. And we'll tell you a little bit more of how he's made that come to fruition after this 3rd and 9.
Well, the A&M defense shows blitz on 3rd down and 9. And here they come. Jaden Daniels under pressure, in trouble, and wrestled down. Jacoby Matthews, Edger, and Cooper got through to share the sack.
Yeah, and what you're going to see is they brained Jacoby Matthews off the edge. And how do you contain a quarterback as elusive as Jaden Daniels? You try to bring guys who are just as athletic off the edge. Edger and Cooper, number 45, 7 sacks on the year. He has been their quarterback spy guy. And you look at Jacoby Matthews, a safety, 6'2", 215 pounds. He just blew past the tackle on that play and got a sandwich there on Jaden Daniels.
Anaya Smith, fair catch at his own 35-yard line. Well, after a 17-play touchdown drive for Texas A&M, their offense set to go right back on the field. Trivia question. Jaden Daniels is the 2nd player in SEC history with 3,500 or more passing yards and 1,000 or more rushing yards in a season. Who was the first?
Oh, wow. I think I know who this is. But I'll wait. I'll let you guys keep pondering that.
You'll get it. Anderson on a rollout to the sideline. Incomplete. Hoping for Smith. Harold Perkins again running in coverage. So let's see how the LSU defense reacts now. They were out there for over 9 minutes, surrendering a 17-play touchdown drive, and their offense only had the ball for 1 minute and 21 seconds. They went 3 and out.
Exactly. Goes 3 and out. This defense was just on the field, as you mentioned, for 17 plays, 3 third down conversions, and a 4th down conversion. And if they want to get their offense back on the field, it's the defense that's going to actually have to step up this time.
Ruben Owens, 1st down. He picks up 12.
And Ruben Owens said, I do not care about LSU's offense. He takes this, and like I told you earlier in the broadcast, they're going to try to run the football on the perimeter, stay away from those big uglies that LSU has on the inside. And Ruben Owens, coming off of a 100-yard game last week, as a true freshman, they have been really impressed, and his natural talent is what's gotten him on the field.
They keep it on the ground with the freshman. And Ruben Owens has about 1.5 yards. Harris Shand made the stop. Tuesday, December 5th, you can catch the next episode of the 6th season of True South, SEC Network's limited series on Southern food and culture. If you're a big True South fan, you can also rewatch season 1 through 5 on ESPN+. Second down and 8 near midfield. Jalen Henderson gives it up, making tacklers misses Ruben Owens. And he's across the 50-yard line, 3 yards shy of a 1st down.
Yeah, and I talked about Ruben Owens and that natural ability. What I mean by that is, yeah, you see the runs and the cuts. He just put Omar Speights in a spin cycle in the middle of the field. but it's about the cerebralness of the game, some of the third down stuff that you have to be a complete running back. He's not quite all the way there yet, but because he's such a dynamic runner, they have to find ways to keep him on the field, and that's exactly what they're doing.
Third down and 3, 4-man rush. Another first down hookup. Moose Muhammad with the 4th third down conversion for Texas A&M. They're also 1 for 2 on 4th down.
Oh, wow. Him and Major Burns are getting into it on the sideline over there, but Jalen Henderson finds Moose Muhammad the third. This guy catches damn near everything. And we talk about big games from last week. Yeah, Ruben Owens had 100 yards rushing, but Moose Muhammad had his breakout game of the year, going for 104 yards and a touchdown. So they're getting all of their weapons involved right now.
Tackle for loss this time by Braden Swinson as he brought down Ruben Owens behind the line for a loss of 3.
And Braden Swinson getting that tackle off of the backside. When you have a run away from you, you're going to see him here on the screen. When you have this run away from you and they're not blocking you, you have to sprint down the line and be able to protect your defense by stopping the running back before he can actually start get going. Nice job there by Braden Swinson.
A little button hook down to about the 30-yard line to Noah Thomas. Again, Evan Stewart out of today's game. So he is that wide receiver that could take the top off of the defense, and still with the ground game and maybe the more possession-oriented receivers that Texas A&M has, they've been very efficient offensively here in the first half.
Very efficient, and they're not afraid to eat up some of this space that LSU is giving them. Take the easy completions. Bud Petrino told us, I don't really love playing like this, but they will today because that's their best way to win.
Ruben Owens, a gain of only a yard, makes it 4th down and 4. Elijah Robinson has been aggressive going forward on 4th down twice already here in the first half. This time it looks like he's going to try for 3. He's going to send Randy Bond out to see if Texas A&M can take the lead.
Elijah Robinson is trying to turn this into an NFL-style football game. He knows he's got the #1 total defense in the SEC on his side, and they're doing a really nice job of preventing Jaden Daniels and this LSU offense from getting going. So if they can get 3 points here, he'll take it.
Bond from 48. Plenty of distance. And he's got it. So after LSU scored first, 10 in a row for Texas A&M. Back-to-back scoring drives to give the Aggies the lead.
His name is Randy. Randy Bond. I love
it. 100 yards passing. And 1,000 yards rushing in a season. Who was the first? RG3.
Johnny Manziel. There it is.
You're undefeated. Sometimes I think we ask these questions just to make you look smart.
Oh, Bob. Love you, buddy. That's an easy one out. It's in relation to the game. Texas A&M's here. Hey. Johnny Manziel. Johnny football.
It bodes well for Jaden Daniels to win the Heisman.
It does.
As Johnny Manziel put up Heisman-winning numbers
on and off the field.
As this kickoff looks like it will hook out of bounds for a penalty. So that'll bring it out to the 35-yard line. And again, single-season SEC history numbers. Of course, in 2012, Johnny Manziel took home the Heisman Trophy. Will Jaden Daniels do the same this year for LSU?
I mean, how fun was it to watch Johnny Manziel go out there and tear up the SEC, doing what he does best. We've all seen and heard the stories, the legend of Johnny football. But this man, Jaden Daniels, for him to come out of today with a victory and win the Heisman, they're going to have to start getting their running game rolling a little bit more outside of him as they motion into an empty set and try to throw the football once again.
Terrific job, complimentary football being done by A&M, though. Daniels over the middle, jarring the ball free from Kyron Lacey to create an incompletion with Lacey. Shaken up was Deuce Harmon. Kyron Lacey couldn't hold on after the contact.
Yeah, you're going to see Jaden Daniels just going through his read. #1's there, puts it on him. Kyron Lacey, I mean, Deuce Harmon did a really nice job of knocking that one out. Ruled an incompletion on the field. Obviously didn't get a chance to make a football move there, but now LSU stuck in here in 2nd and 10.
Texas A&M brings an edge blitz. Jaden Daniels up the middle. He's got a first down. And he grinds out a few extra yards. Gets tossed out of bounds. That'll tack on 15 more. Damani Richardson costs his team.
Oh. Yeah, Jaden Daniels actually points out the blitz before it comes pre-snap. That's his pre-snap recognition. And then right here, he knows, hey, they vacate. I'm going to get out, do it on my own because no one's watching me.
After the play was over, personal foul. Late hit out of bounds, number 28. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. It is first down.
And then you're going to see right here the penalty. Damani Richardson, hey, you got him. Just let him go. You don't got to throw him down to the ground right there. Jaden Daniels does a little flip on the sideline. They get that extra yardage after the penalty, and now LSU is back in business in enemy territory.
28 yards in all, the run, plus the 15-yard personal foul. LSU only had 63 yards of total offense before that play. Play action for Daniels. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. Laying out, unable to haul it in was Malik Neighbors. Flag down in the offensive backfield.
Holding on the offense, number 70. 10 yards from the previous spot. Replay first down.
So the right guard, Miles Frazier, called for a hold. One thing that has helped Jaden Daniels and Brian Kelly this year, consistency on the offensive line.
Yeah, you're going to see number 70 to the right of your screen, Miles Frazier. Right here. Little hands to the face, but now right there when he gets extended. You certainly can't do that, Miles Frazier. And then you see Malik Neighbors diving for that one. And unfortunately, looks like Malik is a little banged up.
He made it all the way back to the line of scrimmage and then went down on one knee. Well, Matt, we've got a close one here after the injury timeout. Spinning out of trouble is Jaden Daniels. Still on his feet down inside the 25 to the 24-yard line before the open field tackle by Jacoby Matthews. A scramble of 23 for Daniels.
And this is what Jaden Daniels can do that really no other top-level quarterback in the country is doing. He can get outside the pocket and not just hurt you with his legs, but keep his team on the field. And when everyone else around him seems to be struggling just a little bit, whether it's catching the ball here, protection there, running the football, he's doing a really nice job of taking matters into his own hands and keeping his team on the field.
And there goes Malik Neighbors back in the game after a one-play injury timeout. Daniels goes his way, and Neighbors spins, breaks a tackle with a stiff arm. He's got a first down. Number 1 in America in receiving yards per game. Malik Neighbors averaging close to 130 yards per contest.
And this is why. Watch the beautiful route, catches it outside his frame, and then it's the run after the catch. Look at this man. Sweet feet, and this man eats every single time he gets the football.
Now they will stack Neighbors and Thomas, more of a bunch set with Mason Taylor, the tight end. Screen out to Thomas. Makes a man miss inside the 10. Down inside the 8-yard line before he's run out by Matthews and Cooper.
And Bob, this is why I always say speed and space always wins the race. Right there, they had 3 for 3. Brian Thomas Jr. gets it. All he has to do is make one guy miss on the perimeter, and it turns into a positive game. We always talk about as a quarterback, when you get those bubble screens or those quick throws out there, you got to try to get at least 5 yards. And right there, it's exactly what they got.
Quarterback draw. Jaden Daniels bounces down to about the 6-yard line, 3 yards short of a first down. Torian York made the tackle. How about the job, though, this A&M defense has done against LSU? Helped out by the ball control of their offense, but this is an LSU offense that 9 times this year has gone over 500 yards. 8 times they've gone over 40 points. And they've only got 7 on the board. And we're closing in on halftime.
Yeah, a couple of those throws by Jaden. He overcorrected on one. He underthrew the first deep ball, overthrew the next deep ball. He's got to dial that in so they can hit some of those big explosive plays down the field.
Now he wants timeout on 3rd down. He saw the play clock winding down. And in pure road games, 9 straight losses for Texas A&M. They have not beaten a ranked team on the road since 2014. But they lead by 3, and they forced a 3rd down in the red zone against a high-powered offense. The last time that Texas A&M has played a top 50 offense, 4 straight losses. This is the #1 offense in college football for LSU.
And what Elijah Robinson has told them is, well, you're not those other teams. You just got to come out here today and try to win one on the road against a very high-powered offense. Stay focused on the mission at hand. And so far today, they've done a nice job of that.
After the LSU timeout, 3rd down inside the 7-yard line. Daniels on a rollout. Front right pylon. Touchdown, Malik Neighbors. Wide open.
Easy breezy, lemon squeezy right there for this LSU offense.
The 13th touchdown this season for Malik Neighbors, and the 37th through the air for Jaden Daniels. He continues to add to his #1 ranking in college football. Most touchdown passes, most touchdowns accounted for. As he continues to build the Heisman resume, LSU has the lead back.
And this is a very nice and easy, simple play. We like to call these sometimes, you know, the rub routes, the pick routes. You're going to see right here with Brian Thomas Jr., he's going to push vertical and get in the way. Neighbors is going to pump forward and run a flat route. The little 5-yard out route as Jaden Daniels is sprinting that way towards him. Easy. Hey, and like a good neighbor, Malik is always there for his quarterback.
As we get a look from our progressive pylon cam, defense has called it a pick. Offense has called it a rub.
Yep.
The offense got the benefit of the doubt there.
All I know is that Brian Thomas did a really nice job of not making it obvious that he was coming in there to pick the receiver. If you're the corner, you have to jam the receiver so he can't even get into that space. As a DB, you've got nothing you can do in that situation.
It's a judgment call on the part of the officials, but if you are a receiver, right, you are allowed to run your route.
Correct.
As long as, in their judgment, you're not seeking out contact to try and create a pick. And I think Brian Thomas Jr. did it right as Ruben Owens gets brought down at the 22-yard line. And now my favorite part of the broadcast. A quick word from Cheez-It.
I'm RG3Z. See you next time.
Right,
hey, who changed my name to RG3Z?
Me? It's a great combo. Like college football and Cheez-It, you like?
You cheddar believe it.
And how will college football fans feel?
They're gonna be feeling the cheesiest! Woo!
I mean, why even continue? Can't we just go home now? It's not going to get any better than that.
Oh, man, Bob. Your cameo there as Cheese is pretty good.
A little flip forward on the jet sweep. Not much running room for Anaya Smith. Savion Jones, Andre Sam were waiting for him as he may have picked up a yard.
And this LSU defense understands the assignment today. Get your offense back on the field. That's going to start with stomping out the running game. We talked to the defensive coordinator, Matt House. That was his main focus. Try to make Jalen Henderson beat them throwing the football. That means they got to get all that air out of their defense and close the space on this offense as many times as possible.
Henderson out of the pocket. And he runs out of bounds near the line of scrimmage. Savion Jones chased him out. So now it will be 3rd down and 9 as you can feel a little energy from this LSU defense now that the offense has given them the lead back.
The offense has always been the spark for this LSU team. And when you hear me talk about too much air in the defense, that means they've been soft at the line of scrimmage. They've been getting pushed back by the offensive line. The DBs are playing too far off, and they're not attacking on the defensive side. Well, on this possession, they have been attacking, and that defensive line is owning the LOS.
Three-man rush. Henderson under pressure. Low throw, scooped up. Noah Thomas, he's got a first down. A gain of 11 to Thomas. Sage Ryan in coverage.
Yeah, and you see Jalen Henderson hold his eyes down the middle and then get it outside. And just a nice job there by Noah Thomas going down to make that catch. It wasn't the best throw that we've ever seen, but it was low and away, gave his guy an opportunity to go make a play. And if you're Sage Ryan, you have to be tighter in coverage. We just talked about the air in the defense.
Henderson runs into the pressure and now runs away from it. Gets tripped up. What a terrific play by Obi Agufo. Just when it looked like Henderson may have escaped, he brings him down for a 6-yard sack.
Never give up, pass rushers. When you're in this moment and the quarterback goes to your side, just keep chasing him down. Get a toe, get a shoelace, get something. And Obi Agufo is out there making it rain on the Texas A&M quarterback. Nice hustle. I love it when you see the big fellas get rewarded for going out and playing their hardest.
Blitz, a flip right over the top of it. And Le'Veon Moss out across the 35-yard line. A gain of 9, 2:29 to go. That brings up a big third down. Remember, A&M won the toss and deferred, so they'll get the ball to start the third quarter. This play may have a lot to say about whether or not they end the half with the ball.
Yes, it does, and their main guy in these situations has either been the quarterback's legs or number 0, Anais Smith. Look for them to try to get him involved here.
Anderson, wide open down the sideline. Easy pitch and catch, first down. Ja'Day Walker was running 3. It's another third down conversion for Texas A&M.
And it wasn't Anais Smith, but it was Jalen Henderson's roommate, Ja'Day Walker, wide open on the corner route. This A&M offense and Bobby Petrino is putting the game in Jalen Henderson's hands and letting him know that they trust him to go out there and make plays here in Death Valley against an LSU team that has all of the awards to play for. The Aggies are not coming in here scared at all.
And we've got an injured player on the LSU sideline. And while we have this injury timeout, let's check in with Matt Barrett.
All right, Bob, we'll get it back to you in just a minute. Coming up with the Lexus halftime report, Ohio State, Michigan. It is getting late early in Ann Arbor. Michigan running out in that one. We'll show you highlights of that. Plus Kentucky and Louisville, perhaps a little bit closer than people thought. Louisville already in the ACC championship. We'll show you highlights of it. And Florida State tonight in the Swamp. A battle of the backup quarterbacks. Florida State trying to prove they are playoff worthy. Dan Mullen, Joey Galloway join me coming up on the Lexus halftime report.
Interesting to hear what those guys have to say. I'm interested to hear your thought as well. Florida State becomes one of the great debates you'll have in college football.
Yeah.
If you go undefeated but lose your quarterback, could you be left out of the college football playoff?
You could be left out, but I think it only happens, Bob, if they don't have a good showing in the ACC championship game. But if they win the ACC championship and Tate plays well, I think that FSU is in even without Jordan Travis.
That's on the drop by Ja'Day Walker as Sage Ryan closed. It'll be second down and 10 at the 32-yard line. Andre Sam, by the way, was the injured Bayou Bengal, so he's on the sideline.
Like I talked about, Jalen Henderson's done a really nice job of taking what the defense is giving him. He's made a couple big-time throws down the field.
Please reset the game clock to 34 seconds. Started on my signal. Play clock.
You got it, Mr. Ref. So he's made a couple big throws down the field when he's had to in some nice third down situations. But you saw that he's 11 for 13 after starting 1 for 3 and 120 yards. He's getting more and more confidence as the game goes on.
Extends the play here. Oh, big hit delivered on Noah Thomas by Sage Ryan, and a flag comes out.
Oh, my Lord. Sage Ryan smacked that man. That was old school football right there on that hit.
Is it targeted?
We're going to make sure we give you guys every single angle possible to look at and see.
Personal foul, targeting on the defense, number 15. That previous play is under further review.
It is automatically reviewed to see if Sage Ryan will be able to stay in this game. But this called targeting on the catch by Noah Thomas.
So you see Sage Ryan talking about how he used his shoulder. This is him coming off of the guy that he was guarding to hit Noah Thomas. Uses the shoulder, hits him in the shoulder, and Noah Thomas was actually able to get a foot down and get his eyes to Sage Ryan. So it is a very hard hit, but it doesn't look like it's targeting based off of the rules of targeting in college football.
You're correct. That is not targeting. Now, you can understand from the official standpoint, when the head jerks to a certain direction, and maybe if an official has a bad angle,
right,
he'll throw the flag, which is exactly why they go through the process they're going through now, because targeting has to be reviewed from the booth and confirmed, and that little head wobble of
After
Noah
review,
Thomas.
there is no foul for targeting. Number 15 must stay in the game.
And it was a very quick overturn of the call, but that was done exactly the way it's supposed to be done, and the process worked just the way it's supposed to work. And Sage Ryan stays in the game.
And like you said, Bob, that head jerk will get you now. If you're just seeing it in a bang-bang type of moment, it can happen, but you see it. Talk about a dangerous hit involving a launch, an upward thrust, or severe strike. Well, he didn't launch. He used his shoulder, hit him in the shoulder. So I do think it was just the head jerk that made him throw the flag, and I'm glad they got it right. We want to see these guys play football, and hitting somebody hard is not a problem.
Another third down now for Texas A&M. The catch made one-handed. And out of bounds, Le'Veon Moss very close to the first down. Toviano made the stop. He is a half-yard shy. Let's see if Elijah Robinson goes for it again on fourth down. It looks like he will. He said he needs some big bodies to try and keep the drive alive with 1:31 to go in the half.
Yeah, I think in this situation, you're looking at fourth and barely one. You got to trust the big bodies up front to get this first down, especially when your defense just gave up a touchdown to Jaden Daniels and that offense. You want to keep them on the sideline.
They run it with Moss. Extra effort. He's got it. So inside of the last 2 minutes, when you pick up a first down, the clock stops, at least for the moment.
And you see the pin pull action there by the A&M offensive line, and then just Le'Veon Moss running through contact. And that extra effort, like you said, Bob, gets him that first down. Tough run on the inside.
Now Texas A&M has all 3 timeouts.
Please reset the game clock to 1:26 and the play clock to 42nd, please. It'll start on my ready for play.
So a couple of times, the clock operators with a quick trigger finger. But Texas A&M doing, RG3, what you said is the best way to nullify a big-time offense, keep a Heisman winner off the field, potentially, and that is control the football.
Control the football. It is not lost on me that Elijah Robinson is a defensive line coach. He wants his D-line well-rested as well.
Tipped ball at the line. On the carom. It looks like it might have been scooped up. And it was. Anaya Smith, off the deflection, picks up 6 yards.
As a quarterback, you want to try to lift this over. Wick Weeks does a nice job of tipping it. But I like the effort there from Anaya Smith. Just because the ball gets tipped doesn't mean you can't catch it.
And they'll run it up the middle for a gain of a couple to make it 3rd down and 2 once again. Let's see if maybe Texas A&M thinks about using one of their timeouts as Mason Smith made the stop on Amari Daniels. 3rd down and about 2.5 coming here for Texas A&M. A lot of time is coming off the clock. Texas A&M has all 3 timeouts. Not using one here. Spinning out is Henderson. Underneath, Jake Johnson. At the pylon, he's in, it looks like. For a touchdown for Texas A&M. Who needs a timeout?
A&M didn't take the timeout because they wanted to restrict the amount of time that LSU would potentially have if they got the football back. And guess what, Bob? It doesn't matter. You score a touchdown, get yourself to go up by 3 if they make this extra point here. And for A&M, we've talked about this before. The good teams, they score before the half and they score when you come out of the half. It's a huge possession for them, knowing that they're getting the football back right after halftime.
How about their 2 touchdown drives? 17 plays and 13 plays. And a flag thrown, pushing and shoving after the point after attempt.
Oh, it's getting chippy out there.
So Texas A&M has the lead back. And talk about managing the clock perfectly. They start the 3rd quarter with the football as well. So they have a chance to keep Jaden Daniels on the bench for the foreseeable future.
During the play, personal foul, leverage number 0 on the defense. That penalty will be extended to the kickoff. The try is good.
Jake Johnson with his 4th touchdown of the season a moment ago.
So let me show you guys what's going on this touchdown. Jalen Henderson is going to fake and come out. I want you to watch Weeks here on the edge. And when he comes upfield, how fast Jalen Henderson has to get his eyes around and then get the football back to Jake Johnson, who is on the same side. Now, if Weeks hadn't forced Jalen Henderson to get that ball out, there's a good chance he would have continued to run on the outside and work through his progression. But a nice job there by Jake Johnson selling the run. And then, of course, Bob, you love this angle, don't you?
Our progressive pylon cam?
It looks amazing, doesn't it?
Not enough O's and smooth for that tee up. Well done. You're good at this TV thing. So Jake Johnson, who of course is one of the 2 sons of Brad Johnson, the former Super Bowl winner for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. On this A&M team, his brother Max played here at LSU as a quarterback, and he actually had the game back against Auburn when Max came on in relief of Connor Wigman and found his brother for a touchdown. Well, kick off your Week 12 NFL Sunday tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Pacific. The Countdown Crew on ESPN and the app, and then Joe Buck, Troy Aikman, and the Monday Night Football crew in Minnesota for Vikings Bears, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on ABC, ESPN, and ESPN Deportes. Justin Jefferson has been banged up recently, but former LSU Bayou Bengal in 55 games. More than Johnny Morris, the Bears' all-time franchise leader.
Wow.
And that will take us to halftime here at Death Valley with LSU down by 3, and Texas A&M will start the 3rd quarter with the football.
Bob, you don't have to do Bears fans like that, man. They're already struggling right now.
17-14, Texas A&M on top at the break. Halftime report, back to Matt Barrett. To start the 2nd half, and they've got a 3-point lead. Bob Wischusen here with Robert Griffin III and Chris Budden as well. Ball control, the story of the first half for the Texas A&M offense, and they'll have it at their own 25-yard line to begin the 3rd quarter. All right, RG3, let's get right to threes keys and see how they've played out so far.
Oh, man, it's been an amazing game for Texas A&M. The way that they wanted to attack this football game, it started with the Heisman. You're talking about Jaden Daniels. He has to come out and have a great game, win the football game. And for him, he's only got 52 passing yards and 59 rushing yards. So then when you talk about the Aggie block, which was the second key, it's been Jalen Henderson being efficient on third downs and then climate control with the time of possession. Texas A&M 19 to LSU only having 10 minutes. They have officially put the Heisman on notice when it comes to Jaden Daniels and what they want to accomplish today.
Broken tackle by Walker. And it looks like he's got a first down. Let's check in with Chris.
Brian Kelly's message to his team during halftime: you have to get off the field on third down when we're on defense. It's obvious what A&M is wanting to do: run the clock, be aggressive on fourth down. So if we can get off the field on third down, we get our offense, and then they can start playing with more of a rhythm. We'll see what they're able to do on this first possession.
Now, hard to get into a rhythm when your offense isn't on the field. And the 2 touchdown drives for Texas A&M were long ones. And they start off ball control to begin the second half as well. Another catch for Noah Thomas. Another first down is RG3. The 2 touchdown drives in the first half of the Aggies. 17 plays and 13 plays.
Yeah, and it's plays like that we just saw to Noah Thomas. Get it out of your hands if you're Jalen Henderson, fast, get it to your receivers. And if you're LSU on defense, you have kind of skated by this entire year knowing that your offense is just going to put up a plethora of points. Well, you have to start challenging these receivers at the line of scrimmage so that they don't get these easy 5-yard hitches that turn into 15-yard gains.
Offside, activated the quarterback, number 0 on the defense. 5-yard penalty, first down.
So 5 yards called on the offside jump by Mason Smith. Tuesday, 2 feature ACC SEC challenge matchups. Men's college basketball on ESPN. Miami takes on Kentucky at 7:30, and then Clemson, Alabama at 9:30 Eastern. You get all the action on the ESPN app as well. A little option run. And Jalen Henderson, he's got, I think, a first down. Greg Penn made the stop, but looked like he picked up the 5 he needed for a fresh set of downs for Texas A&M.
And right now, offensive coordinator Bobby Petrino is throwing the kitchen sink at this LSU defense. We've seen everything from pro-style approach to the wing-back set to the pistol to under center with a fullback in the backfield. He is keeping them on their toes and showing them all the different elements of what this A&M offense can be.
Play action. Henderson on the move. He's going to heave a jump ball down the sideline, and he finds his man. Terrific adjustment to the football by John A. Walker, who's got another big play for A&M down to the 10-yard line.
Jalen Henderson is running to the left for his literal life. And you can just see, hey, here's the play action. Oh, my goodness, do you see Sage Ryan coming off the edge? My roommate's got to be down there somewhere. And he throws it to John A. Walker, who makes the adjustment, which is why receivers play wide receiver and DBs play DB. Major Burns with that neck roll on was not prepared to stop on a dime and track that football. Amazing job by Jalen Henderson, giving his receiver a chance down the field.
They run it with Moss. Cuts it back to the 5. It gets stood up there.
Man, Petrino talked about how he didn't want to come out here and have to play keep away. And they did that in the first half, but they were able to come out of the first half with a lead, and now he's giving more and more liberty to Jalen Henderson to continue to open up and spread out this offense, and it's a thing of beauty.
On the ground, again, backing his way down to the 1-yard line is Moss. Well, they've been terrific on third down anywhere on the field. And now they will try it third down and goal from the 1.
And they got the big bodies inside. Loading up. Looks like they might be giving Jalen Henderson an opportunity to utilize his legs again. Oh, no, they're going with the triple back set.
Full house backfield. Ready on Moss. Here's the eye back. But they'll dive it ahead with the up back. Is it Martin Naboo? And he's across for a touchdown as they gave it to the left guard. Is that big man touchdown for Texas A&M?
I am on a set on Monday Night Football with the guy by the name of Marcus Spears, and this is certainly a big man bowling type of moment. his reaction there from LSU is probably the reaction of all LSU fans. Like, are you serious right now? Did they just give it to a man named Naboo and he just snuck it in the end zone? They sure did.
They should change the name of that play in their playbook to "Let's run, we see you, boo-boo" from the 1 yard line from now on.
The big pass from Jalen Henderson to Jahdae Walker to set up this goal line type of situation. And like you said, Bob, hey, boo-boo, in the end zone.
Petrino, dial that play up and have it work. He's in there with the big fellas. He is celebrating as Texas A&M ends the first half with a touchdown, begins the second half with a touchdown. So 14 points on the board since we last saw Jaden Daniels and the LSU offense on the field. Caleb Jackson on the kickoff return. Out across the 25. College football's rivalry weekend continues tonight on ESPN. Florida State will take on Florida at 7 Eastern on ABC. And Georgia Tech for the 115th time at 7:30 Eastern over on ABC. Number 1 on ABC. Number 5 on ESPN. And Tate Rodemaker takes on Max Brown, backup quarterbacks. Really the focus is going to be on Rodemaker and the FSU offense, and if they can put up a good showing and impress the committee as Jaden Daniels goes to work to begin the second half here. Spinning for a first down is Brian Thomas Jr. He picks up 14 yards. But again, it would be, in a way, a travesty if Florida State goes undefeated, loses their quarterback, and doesn't get a chance at the playoff.
I agree with you 100%. And now with LSU, great way to get this drive started, hitting Brian Thomas Jr.
Miscommunication, Daniels behind Neighbors on first down. But it's supposed to be the ultimate team sport. I guess this is a soapbox moment. How do you tell the other 100 guys on the team that everything that they did all season doesn't matter because their quarterback got hurt because that one guy goes down?
Yeah, I mean, you look at this from an NFL perspective. If your quarterback goes down and you're in the playoffs, it's not like they're going to take you out of the game. But in college, the committee does take into account injuries, and they know that Jordan Travis is one of the best quarterbacks we have in this game right now.
Josh Williams about 4 yards short of a first down. Edgerrin Cooper makes the stop, and it's been a while for Texas A&M since they have had this kind of a lead in a true road game. Their first lead of 8 or more points against a ranked opponent since that win over Auburn all the way back in 2014.
Wow. I mean, that just tells you how great they have played today in this atmosphere in Death Valley and really bottled up Jaden Daniels so far.
A drop for Neighbors. And now it's 4th down and 4 near midfield. Down by 2 scores. Jaden Daniels hasn't come to the sideline yet. According to our analytics, even at this spot on the field, if you've got the #1 offense in America, they would agree with a go-for-it decision.
Yes, you have to go for it. And the guy that just dropped that pass might be the one that they come right back to. Malik Neighbors has been featured in these types of moments time and time again.
Mason Taylor was in motion. Daniels out of the pocket. He's going to run for it and get it and then some. Daniels down the sideline. Finally wrestled out of bounds inside the 10-yard line. Not only is a 4th down conversion, it's a goal-to-go situation for LSU after a 49-yard run.
Talked about that game-breaking speed that he has, and when he sees green grass, that man is moving. Almost found his way all the way to the end zone. Time and time again today, Jaden Daniels has tried to lean on the guys around him. And whether it's a drop here or a misprotection there, his legs have been his greatest asset today. And he's tired of Mark Naboo having the same amount of touchdowns as him so far in this game.
Daniels keeps it and dives right back to the line of scrimmage. The fake didn't fool the coverage. Albert Regis made the tackle for Texas A&M. So now will the Aggies possibly bend but not break? Can they get a red zone goal to go stop and hold LSU to 3? Or is this 4-down territory at this point for LSU? We're about to find out.
Yeah, if it's going to be a big stop, it's going to start up front with that defensive line. How crazy is that a left guard has the same amount of touchdowns as Jaden Daniels in this game right now?
Daniels, again, quarterback run. Spins down to the 1-yard line. Gets a push, and that's where the play is blown dead. Torian York, again, the freshman middle linebacker, with a big pop on Daniels shy of the goal line.
Yeah, Jaden wanted one of those RPOs, ended up not being able to connect on it, but tries to get vertical and force his way in. A lot of great effort there, but you're right. Torian York, number 21, with a beautiful form tackle. Wrapped those legs up and made sure Jaden Daniels couldn't get anywhere else.
All tight ends on the field. 4 of them for LSU. 3rd and goal at the 1. Zone read out the middle into the end zone. Josh Williams, touchdown. Flag down at the line of scrimmage.
Offside on the defense. That penalty's declined. The result of the play is a touchdown.
LSU with the answer after the 3rd quarter opens with a Texas A&M touchdown.
And once again, very unselfish play here by Jaden Daniels. Make the read that you're supposed to. Hand it off to your running back in Josh Williams. Because once again, the most important thing for LSU today, for all the things that they want to accomplish, and we saw the Heisman Trophy being built by the band at halftime, they have to win this game. And Jaden Daniels knows that handing the football off was the best decision in that moment.
This has been a game of long, multi-play touchdown drives. An 8-play drive for LSU. Capped by Josh Williams. Another touchdown run. We've got a 3-point game. At this week's college football playoff rankings, brought to you by Capital One. 4-point game between Ohio State and Michigan. Oregon with a statement against Oregon State. Bo Nix with a statement in the Heisman race as well.
Yes.
What kind of a statement will Michael Penix make in the Apple Cup game? And of course, as Ruben Owens brings this kick back, those two have a chance to meet once again in the Pac-12 title game as Owens tumbles out across the 35-yard line. We check in with Matt Barry.
All right, Bob, the battle for the Governor's Cup getting interesting between Kentucky and Louisville after a Louisville touchdown. This is Berrien Brown from his end zone and a kick return of 100 yards to keep Kentucky in this one 17-14.
Rivalry games have a way of just staying close, don't they?
Yes, they do.
You know, the performance with Elijah Robinson taking over as the interim coach for Texas A&M. And it looks like we might have an injury timeout over on the LSU sideline. You wonder, with the coaching search, RG3, underway at Texas A&M, if not, at the very least, Elijah Robinson is one of those guys that the incoming coach says, you know what, I want to interview this guy.
Oh, 100.
I think this might be a guy that I want to stick around on my staff, even if it's a new regime.
Oh, 100%. And that's the kicker there for LSU down on the sideline. He got hit by Ruben Owens at the end of that kickoff return. Pretty tough. And when you talk about Elijah Robinson, the job that he's done just keeping this group together has been amazing. So he is certainly a guy that you want to bring back, whoever comes in. And we'll get more on that when we get back.
Death Valley. Nathan Dybert, by the way, helped into the injury tent while we were away. So one of the place kickers for LSU shaken up on the kickoff return. And we'll keep our eyes on the tent and see how he's doing. Was not able to put much weight on his injured leg at all. Back to the offense. Texas A&M, Amari Daniels picks up about 3. And Chris Button, we were just talking about Elijah Robinson and the impact he's had on this A&M program.
Yeah, you see these guys playing with a lot more joy than they have all season. It's one of the things that Robinson's instilled in these guys. You know, when he played at Penn State, he was injured, and when they were diagnosing the injury, they found an issue with his spine. It forced him to retire from football. He said, I was the guy with all my eggs in one family, but then it taught me the importance of getting a degree, treating people right, and that you realize this game can be taken away in an instant, so enjoy it.
4 yards for Ernest Crownover. And it seems like that enjoyment of being around these young men has translated to this A&M roster.
Yeah, it certainly has translated. And you look at a guy like Jalen Henderson, who hasn't played a ton of ball over the past 3 years. In his third start, he's 19 of 23 for 207 yards and a touchdown. And one thing that Elijah Robinson did in practice was, instead of just playing music in warm-ups, he played it throughout the entire practice. And we'll talk a little bit more of how he's utilized music to get his guys invigorated and play with passion.
3rd down and 3. Stepping up, Henderson. He's got another 3rd down conversion. They are now 9 for 13 on 3rd down with that Jalen Henderson scramble. And these long double-digit play drives continue for Texas A&M.
Yes, they are. And the most amazing thing about it for Henderson is he's doing this while going through progressions. These aren't designed quarterback runs. And how about that? You come to Death Valley in your first experience here, and you're playing on money down 3rd downs better than really anybody today so far.
A rollout for Henderson, looking back to the sideline. It's not there. He'll tuck it under again. Cuts it upfield. And he's got 7 more yards before Paris Shand brings him down.
So when you look at Jalen Henderson on 3rd downs today, boom, right here, finds Anaya Smith for a 1st down. Oh, here's another one to Moose Muhammad. He's getting everybody involved. Oh, don't forget about Jade Walker on the corner route. Then he's going to hit his man, Jake Johnson, for the touchdown when they sneaked out. He's 8 for 8 for 106 yards and a touchdown. I mean, holy smokes, guys.
Turning the corner. Maybe on Moss. He's got another Texas A&M 1st down. Major Burns made the stop. 11 more yards for the ground attack for Texas A&M. And that's allowing them to work on the clock as well, as this will take them over 27 minutes time of possession so far. Only about 13.5 minutes for LSU.
And coming into this game, they knew that they had a phenomenal defense that was athletic and that could keep LSU off balance. But their best defense was going to be their offense staying on the field, and that is exactly what they've done.
A drop that time for Walker. So it will be 2nd down and 10 at the LSU 32.
And you know, Bob, to get back to that story about Elijah Robinson, their interim head coach, he said, you know, Marcus Luttrell came and talked to the team. And he talked about whenever they heard a certain song in his platoon, they knew it was about to get real. They knew that it was going to be in a competitive environment. And he's using Fireman from Lil Wayne right now to get his team locked in those times in practice. And it seems to be paying off.
Out on the edge, Reuben Owens, tracked down by Whit Weeks. But again, it's 3rd down and manageable. 9 for 13, Texas A&M on 3rd down. And even when they have failed to get 3rd down conversions, they have not been shy about going for it on 4th down.
No, they have not been shy about it. And you see that time of possession, I mean, absolutely doubled up on them. This reminds me of my last game in college football when I went up against Washington and Keith Price, and he came out there and he was playing like he was the Heisman Trophy winner.
LSU shows an all-out blitz. Short of the 1st down, the catch is made. Squeezed into a tight window to Walker, and now it's 4th down and 2 or so. Another decision to be made for Elijah Robinson. Looks like 4th down and a long one close to 2. And he will go for it. And I think this again is the right call. They control the line of scrimmage.
I'm sure ESPN Analytics probably says it's the right call as well. They're controlling the line. They've got that fullback once again in that I formation. Let's see what they do off of it this time.
They'll give it to Moss. He's got it. And then some. All the way down inside the 15 to about the 12-yard line. 3 4th down conversions and 4 tries for Texas A&M.
You want to talk about an offense taking on the identity of their head coach. This is the slobber knocker, gritty type of football that Elijah Robinson wants his team to play. You see him there on the sideline. He's invigorated this crew. They must be playing fireman on the sideline because every competitive situation they have won today, and they're doing it at an extremely high level.
Now it's David Bailey Jr.'s turn. And that's the 10th play of this drive. So RG3, it is another double-digit play drive for Texas A&M. And that keeps the LSU offense sitting and watching.
Yeah, and not just the fact that LSU's offense is sitting on the sideline and watching, but this defense, it's not even the fourth quarter yet. And the LSU this year has not necessarily been known to have the best defense. So how tired are they going to be come the last 2-3 minutes of the fourth quarter if they've been on the field the entire game?
Henderson stutter steps and throws it away. So now it's a third down and long in the red zone. LSU with a chance to possibly get a stop as Braden Swinson put the pressure on Jalen Henderson. Third down and 10.
A big thing for Bobby Petrino coming into this game was allowing Jalen Henderson to utilize his full skill set. But like Elijah Robinson told us in the first half, they have to finish this possession with a kick, whether it's a touchdown and an extra point or kicking a field goal. So for Henderson, he's got to be really protective of the football here and not give this LSU defense a chance to create a spark.
Walker, Smith, and Thomas out to the right. Quarterback draw. Henderson brought down. Harold Perkins didn't buy the fake. A loss of a yard. So it's a red zone defensive stop for LSU.
Yeah, and Harold Perkins snipped this one out right from the beginning. Actually ducked underneath an offensive lineman to make sure he could get in there and stop Jalen Henderson before he ever got started. Nice job there by Harold Perkins Jr. Breathing some life into this defense that just bend, but didn't break that time.
Randy Bonds from 32. No good. He pushed it right. So not only does LSU get the stop inside the 15-yard line, Texas A&M for the first time in 5 possessions comes away empty.
They wanted to end the possession with a kick. They didn't want it to go wide right like that. Randy Bond let the team down on that one, and now it's up to Jaden Daniels and this #1 offense in the country to get on track and put themselves back in the lead.
Only Bond's second miss inside of 40 yards this season. He was 15 of 16 before that miss from 32 yards away.
And you didn't give him the announcer jinx either. Good job holding on to that one.
I'd like credit for that. That is a post announcer jinx. So Jaden Daniels starts it on the ground, and nothing there for Noah Cain. Edger and Cooper. #1 in the SEC in tackles for loss, #4 in sacks, and #7 in total tackles.
And watch what he does right here at the point of attack. Puts that shoulder down, drives his legs. That man is playing with passion, and there's a reason. He's a semifinalist for the Bednarik Award.
That's Neighbors in motion. 2nd and 10 for Daniels with a pump fake. Steps up. And he escapes somehow to keep the play alive. It took the 3rd and 4th rusher to finally get there to bring him down. And Bryce Anderson on a nickel blitz helped out Edger and Cooper for what ultimately is a 1-yard sack that may take us to the end of the 3rd quarter. We'll see. LSU's going to line up, although Daniels goes down on one knee. Hopefully just to adjust his cleats. He's okay, but down to the final 5 seconds of the quarter. And that will take us to the end of the 3rd. So it'll be 3rd and long to start off the 4th quarter for LSU in a 3-point game. As Jaden Daniels fought the good fight, but eventually was dropped for a sack. After the 3rd quarter, we take a quick timeout with DoorDash.
You hold them without points that last drive. What do you need in this final 15?
Well, we got to pick up a first down here, first of all. We just got off the field, so we need to get a first down here. That's the most important thing in the moment. It's about stops now. Whoever gets a stop here or there is probably going to win the football game.
Thank you, Coach.
Well, A&M 9 for 15 on third down. LSU 4 for 7. Third down and long, though, to open up the fourth quarter. Here comes a blitz. Daniels backpedals. Extends the play with a stiff arm. Throws one across his body, incomplete. Trying to find Neighbors. And there is one of those stops, but it goes Texas A&M's way to start the fourth quarter.
And I want you guys to watch number 45 on this play. Edgerrin Cooper. He is the designated quarterback spy, and he seeks out Jaden Daniels with a vengeance, forces him to have to throw that football back across his body before he was truly ready to. This A&M defensive line and linebacking core has done an amazing job of cage rushing Jaden Daniels in those crucial situations so that he can't get out and use his legs.
Ainias Smith doesn't call for a fair catch and gets spun down. And a little something extra after the play is over. Slade Roy with a terrific tackle on special teams. Time now for today's weekend lineup, brought to you by Wendy's Beef and rivalry games galore. Florida State, Florida tonight at 7 Eastern on ESPN. Number 1 Georgia taking on Georgia Tech at 7:30 Eastern on ABC. A ton of rivalry weekend college football games for you to enjoy this afternoon and tonight.
Of course, the game with the biggest implications there is the Florida State-Florida game, but an amazing stat for you, Bob, here. Jaden Daniels, in every scoring drive that they've had, he had a 20-yard rush. Right there, Edgerrin Cooper sniffing him out on that play was huge to get them off the field.
Low snap and a cutback run for Daniels for a couple. Jordan Jefferson, Jacoby, and Guillory combine on the stop. Back to Matt.
All right, Bob, statement and drive out of Ohio State. 8 consecutive runs capped off by Trevion Henderson. We're tied at the Big House, 17-all.
Wow. Just wondering how many screens you probably have to have going today if you're a true college football fan. Ainias Smith coming up big for the first time in a while, breaking tackles close to midfield before he's finally brought down.
You know, if you're Ainias Smith, it's pretty awesome when no one guards you. You're going to see they blitz off the slot. No one guards him. Omar Spates doesn't get over there to cover his guy that's blitzing, and Ainias Smith does the rest. Easy completion for Jalen Henderson. Throwing it to the wide open guy, throwing into the pressure, which is what you're always taught as a quarterback, even in high school.
A little delay for Henderson, and he throws it away. Second down and 10 near midfield as Jefferson and Jones were bringing pressure. That Ainias Smith catch was his first of the second half.
You know, Bob, it's not very often that you get a quarterback like Jalen Henderson, who is the third quarterback on the depth chart, who's able to come in and play the way that he has today and really even the past 2 weeks. But when we talked to Bobby Petrino, he talked about how his teammates love him and the wide receivers all play hard for him because they want to see him have success.
4 yards for Amari Daniels. As we detailed in the first half, this season, you know, it's been an injury carousel, basically. Connor Wigman started off the year. We were calling the Auburn game back in late September when he went down with a foot injury. Max Johnson came in and played very well in an A&M win, but his rib injury suffered against Ole Miss knocked him out. He, of course, went to LSU, wanted to play today, tried to fight through the injury this week, and just couldn't make it. So here's Jalen Henderson looking for another third down conversion, and he throws an interception. Able to haul it in, and the first takeaway for the LSU defense sets the Bayou Bengals up with great field position.
What a play there by Greg Penn III. Want to talk. He works out. Oh, here comes the shallow. No. I'm going to fall off and catch this interception. Amazing job there by Greg Penn. Using his eyes and making a play for the Tigers.
All season long, student sections across the country are competing to be the Taco Bell Live Más student section of the year. Download the Taco Bell app to learn more. That student section was rocking after the Greg Penn interception. Ryan Thomas Jr. stays in bounds, scoots up the sideline for an LSU first down. One snap, and the Tigers are in plus territory with a gain of 13.
Nice job of Brian Thomas Jr. snapping this round down, and then, with the twinkle toes on the sideline. That first completion and that first down is the most important thing to get any drive rolling. How about that LSU defense finally giving the offensive spark here in this game?
Play action for Jaden Daniels. Over the middle. Wide open Chris Hilton. His first catch inside the 25-yard line before he's brought down.
Chris Hilton with a nice hammer route across the middle of the field. You're going to see Jaden Daniels work left to right on his radio dial and hit him. Nice in stride, give him an opportunity to continue driving up the field.
That's Tyreek Chappelle, the outside corner, shaken up on the play. Injury time in the shape of the Heisman Trophy, supporting Jaden. Robert Griffin III. Jr. does it again from 23.
Well, you saw the Heisman at halftime that we just showed you. And Jaden Daniels is going to have a Heisman-type finish. But that certainly was a Heisman. Amazing job there. Getting the ball out to one of the best receivers in the country. Leading the nation in touchdown catches. Then LSU is back on top.
Number one in receiving touchdowns. Malik Neighbors is number. This is the most explosive offense in the land. And they've got the lead back.
I ain't even get to enjoy all my turducken. This man already throwing touchdown passes, Bob.
Sounds like you're continuing to enjoy your turducken.
I'm trying.
28-24. LSU as they take the Greg Penn pick and turn it into 7.
Watch how Brian Thomas goes up and mouses this man in the back of the end zone, gets both feet in, controls the ball all the way down. This is what you call high pointing the football. All my receivers at home, pay attention to what number 11 just did as you see it from the progressive pylon cam. Look at that view. That's beautiful, man. I love great football.
As you can see, the progressive pylon cam showed that it was good on Sundays. Better hands than we saw with the turducken.
That meat was loose, wasn't it?
So now what kind of a response will we get from Texas A&M after the quick strike 3-play touchdown drive for LSU?
Well, if you're talking about Jalen Henderson, that was really the first mistake we saw him make all game. It just so happened that it was in the fourth quarter and a crucial point, and now has sparked this LSU team and this crowd here in Death Valley to get back into this thing. His response here on this next drive will tell a lot.
together plenty of double-digit play drives.
The easy completions and allow Henderson to get back in rhythm.
Henderson on a rollout, and he's going to take a sack. Runs out of bounds.
You don't want to take that 2-yard loss, which then goes back on your offensive line as a sack. And then for LSU, I mean, they've lost 17 straight.
A rollout. Avoids a sack.
Malik Neighbors.
To me, the on cam look didn't reveal much.
The fact that they called this a touchdown on the field is what leads me to believe that it'll remain the same, unless they believe that right there shows that it came out enough. We could slow that down a little bit there at the end, just so the viewer can fully see. The foot is clearly in, clearly has possession of the football at that point.
They're looking for back-to-back touchdown drives to their two big wide receivers, as Brian Thomas with a terrific catch in the back right corner of the end zone. expecting a 5-point lead. Let's go back to Matt.
All right, big game, Bob. Things are happening across the country, just like in your game. Moments ago, Mark.
Holding on Kyron Lacey on the sideline. It's what sprung Malik Neighbors down that sideline. Amazing catch and run, by the way. Holy cow.
Holding on the offense, number 2. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul.
When he tries to break that initial line of scrimmage, you have to get hands on him.
Might be a free play. They'll take a shot. Brian Thomas Jr. broken up at the goal line. Deuce Harmon was there in coverage.
Offside on the defense, number 5. 5-yard penalty.
allowing Jaden Daniels to get outside the pocket and create the magic that we know that he does. But they've done a really nice job responding today to after some of those big plays, resettling themselves and getting.
Daniels, one-on-one, Kyron Lacey, touchdown! Let's check in again with Matt Barry.
All right, Bob, I'll get it right back to you. Just want to keep you updated on Kentucky and Louisville. Ray Davis, 30.
Side kick. As Kyron Lacey, he's still feeling the emotion on the LSU sideline.
Yeah, like I said, there's something going on there. He's a senior. Maybe it's his last opportunity to play here.
A lob to the sideline, way over the head of Noah Thomas, and incomplete. So a turnover on downs.
to his main man, Kyron Lacey. All day long, Jaden Daniels was finding the Wi-Fi.
Appreciate the time. Congratulations.
Thank you.
He's smart. He knows who's in the booth.